Good evening and thank you for joining GBS News at 9. We make your news our business. My name is Paul Madenge and our sign language interpreter tonight is Samuel Karaoke. Now to our very first story. It's now 3 years since President William Ruto entered State House after a highly contested election. Today at 2:30 p.m., he delivered the 13th State of the Nation address in Parliament as required by Article 131, Section 1, B and C of the Constitution, which mandates an annual update of national values and government progress. In his address, President Ruto highlighted key achievements made since assuming office, expressing confidence that Kenya has the potential to match the economic success of Singapore, Hong Kong, and Malaysia, and reaffirming his commitment to driving the country toward the vision of its founding leaders. Matthew Perez followed the joint House proceeding, and here are the details.
In accordance with Article 132 B and C of the Kenyan Constitution, which requires the incumbent president to address a special sitting in Parliament once every year, outlining measures taken and progress achieved in realizing national values under Article 10. Today at around 2:40 p.m., President Ruto delivered the 13th State of the Nation address in the Parliament building in a joint parliamentary sitting. President William Ruto took the chance to chest stamping of his achievements, having been in office for a record 3 years.
It's now my singular honor and privilege to invite His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces to address this special sitting of Parliament.
Thank you very much.
The President in his speech said his government has made tremendous steps in terms of economic growth, a great milestone since he took power to lead Kenya in 2022.
The Nairobi Securities Exchange has recorded a powerful resurgence, now recognized as one of the best performing emerging markets globally. The impact has been phenomenal. Productivity in all our agricultural sectors has gone up. National maize harvests have risen from 44 million bags in 2022 to 67 million bags in 2024, setting the stage for a historic harvest this year of 70 million bags. The results are visible in markets and homes. The price of a 2-kilogram packet of flour has fallen from what it was 250 in 2022 to as low as 130 today. For millions of households, this is meaningful daily relief. The transformation across our value chains is equally compelling. Tea production has grown, with earnings rising from Kenya shillings 138 billion in 2022 to Kenya shillings 215 billion in 2024, a 56% increase. The coffee sector, once on the brink of collapse, is roaring back. Nearly 50,000 seedlings have been distributed. Earnings have risen from an average of Kenya shillings 70 per kilo to now between 120 and 150 shillings per kilo. 27 million Kenyans are now registered in SHA, more than triple the number ever reached by the former NHIF.
President Ruto said that Kenya's shilling has stabilized, the GDP has increased and now ranks 6th on the continent according to the IMF rankings on matters large economy.
Kenya was ranked the 8th largest economy in Africa with a GDP of 115 billion US dollars. Today, our GDP has increased to $136 billion, moving us up to become the 6th largest economy on the continent, according to IMF.
Ruto argued that the nation of Kenya is a sleeping giant and has all that it takes to be a global encyclopedia on matters economy, matching countries such as Singapore, Hong Kong, and Malaysia.
The Kenya we deserve. For long, our ambition was held hostage by small thinking and ordinary expectations. But that era must now be confined to the past. A vision not just to grow, but to transform. A roadmap not merely to move forward, but to rise. To rise from developing to developed. To rise from potential to reality. To rise from promise to prosperity. To rise from the third to the first world. To rise finally into the Kenya we have long imagined.
He called on Kenyans to change their mindset since it is the only line separating them from the first world countries. Matthew Perez for GBS News.
God bless you and God bless our great country, Kenya.
Now moving on, emotions ran high at Migomo Estate in Kiambu today as family, friends and leaders gathered to lay to rest gospel artist Betty Bayo, whose passing has left a deep void in the music ministry and in her community. It was a ceremony mixed with a mixture of sad mood but with humor at some point as leaders showered Betty with praises, as Davis Karani now reports.
Mourners filled the compound of the fallen gospel songwriter and artist Betty Bayo in Kiambu County, where hymns, tributes and prayers marked the final journey of the celebrated gospel singer. The atmosphere was heavy with grief, yet held together the powerful memories she left behind.
We are in a morning ceremony. My daughter pale, Sky, anapenda sana mchezo. Wewe kutoka wakati uliingia hapa umeona akicheza? Nini hii itakufanya ucheke mpaka ile meno ya ghadhabu ile ionekane wakati watoto wanalia, wanaomboleza? Nini hiyo? Nini hiyo itafanya urukaruke na uonekane as if you are celebrating kama ulitaka Betty akufe? Wacheni kumix feelings hivi watu wa Mungu. Hii si puda, hii si mazishi ya puda. Kama tunamon.
The country's Deputy President, Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki, who joined mourners, urged leaders across the country to stand with the family during this difficult time.
Tunaombea baraka watoto ya dada wetu na watoto wote ambao wameachwa na wazazi. And we will support them. We will support the church, we will support musicians, we will support artists. Na mimi nawasihi marafiki wengi artists na musicians wale wako katika creative economy. Hapa kwetu Central Region tuko na wengi, very talented, very powerful. Please come together and let us establish a big foundation or trust to provide resources to take care of the children of artists and the families of artists, so that we don't have our artists dying in poverty.
Her husband, fighting back tears, delivered an emotional eulogy, calling Betty Bayo his pillar, his prayer partner, and the brightest light in their home. He described her as a woman of faith, whose love transformed every space she entered.
My soul knows a new, raw footprint, a landscape of loss shaped entirely by your absence. In losing you, I have lost the compass by which I navigated the world. The pain is a constant, low harm. I find myself turning to share a thought with you, only to find empty space.
And in a moment that broke the tension of sorrow, Pastor Kanyari, known for his humor and dramatic storytelling, brought laughter to the crowd.
I was looking for a wife, a companion, a partner, a dreamer, and that is why within just a few months, we are already living as husband and wife. Hey, kusoma hii kitu. Mungu anisaidie.
As the ceremony came to a close, Betty Bayo was laid to rest amid tears, hymns and heartfelt tributes, her music and ministry leaving behind a legacy that loved ones say will continue to inspire. Davis Karani for For GBS News.
And now, here at GBS TV, we say farewell, Betty Bayo, the gospel artist. Now, to our next story, different functions groups have today lauded the home managers for the good work they have always put in place in making sure that families remain stable through their efforts of maintaining homes. And now, as long simmering tensions keep boiling over into open rivalry, scrabble for influence and legitimacy in championing domestic workers has ignited groups to advance the rights further. Let's have a look.
Care is important for me because as much as I'm growing older and older, I was also somebody's child, isn't it? Who was brought forth by a woman who took care of me. I was taken care of by my sisters as well and other guardians. Care work is very important for the growth and economy of this country.
Mimi ndio Secretary General Domestic Professional Association of Kenya. Mimi ni sauti ya wafanyikazi wote wa nyumbani, mahali ambapo kila mmoja tunakusanyana ili kuweza kushirikiana, kwa sababu mimi nimefanya hiyo kazi kwa muda mrefu, niko na hiyo experience. Labda unapitia challenge moja mbili, tunaweza kusaidiana.
So lengo letu huku leo ni kusemezana na tuongeleshane, tujue venye tutakuza hii sekta yenye tunafanya kazi na tuipeleke mbele.
What I can only say ya kwamba unajua, I'm not going against the government, lakini wanasema kwamba Nairobi is also known kwa maandamano. Sitasema tuende maandamano, but nitasema ya kwamba you know, you people, you also work with good partners. Mnafanya kazi na watu ambao wanawasaidia kuweza kufikia inaitwa madhumuni fulani. I will call these partners and I always remind them ya kwamba some advocacy and awareness is required. Na sio advocacy ile smooth. Si mnajua ile mambo ya kupush, inaitwa kupush because unajua serikali pia inaweza assume things are working well, na unajua tulisema ni bottom up na ikoze kuwa bottom up iwe.
And now from Tanzania, Tanzania is facing a tense aftermath following the October 29th general elections, marking by deadly clashes between protesters and security forces. In response, President Samia Suluhu Hassan has launched an independent commission to investigate the violence and hold those responsible accountable. Our report takes a closer look at the commission's mandate and the challenges ahead.
Tanzania is grappling with the aftermath of one of its deadliest post-election periods in recent history. Following the October 29 general elections, hundreds were killed and many more injured or detained in violent clashes between protesters and security forces. Opposition supporters took to the streets to challenge the election results, alleging rigging and intimidation. The government responded with widespread crackdown, including the use of live ammunition and a countrywide internet shutdown that severely restricted communication. In a bid to address the crisis and restore peace, President Samia Suluhu has announced the formation of an independent commission of inquiry.
Haki. Tunataka kujua haki gani ambao vijana hawa wameikosa na kwa umoja wao waliingia barabarani kuidai haki hiyo. Purpose ya wale vijana kuingia ni haki gani ili tuweze kuifanyia kazi na wapate haki yao.
The panel is led by retired Chief Justice Mohamed Chande Othman and includes experts from legal, security and diplomatic backgrounds.
Tunaambiwa kwamba vijana wale walioingia kudai haki walilipwa fedha kwanza ndio wakaingia barabarani, na wengi wao waliingia barabarani kuendana na hizo fedha walizopewa. Je, fedha zilitoka wapi? Zilitoka wapi?
The commission's mandate is to investigate the causes of the violence, examine the actions of security forces, and recommend those responsible for excessive use of force be held accountable.
Tunapofanya hii kazi, hebu twende tukaangalie matamshi ya vyama vya upinzani. Wale waliokuwa wakisema lazima kiwake, hapakaliki, lazima aondoke, lazima kiwe hiki, uchaguzi hautafanyika. Kitu gani hasa kilichowaletea kufanya vile? Lakini katika kufanya hivyo tuangalie uhusiano wa hicho chama na tume yetu ya uchaguzi. Uhusiano wao ulikuwaje katika kipindi hicho mpaka ikawapelekea waseme maneno yale.
This commission's finding could shape the future of democracy in Tanzania as the nation moves to rebuild trust and stability after turbulent election season. Susan Nganga, GBS News.
Now, it's time for us to take a short break. Keep your feedback streaming into our social media platform. At GBS TV Africa, the SMS line is 21144. We will be right back.
On the show, we're talking about navigating the long-distance relationship.
First of all, the world is now a global village thanks to technology and the internet.
When you talk about relationships, when you talk about love, when you talk about feelings, when you talk about emotions, all these things originate from the heart. I never saw in the Bible where someone was married and then the wife was living far away from them and then there was something that they were building.
When it comes to relationships and probably communication, that distance is not a barrier.
Yeah.
But it is in communication, in effective communication. There is something that long-distance relationships lack, which is very essential for effective relationship building.
When you're cooking and the tap gets spoiled, do you try to repair it from that point or you run to the main source and then you close it?
So today we're diving into a topic that has become rather popular right here in Kenya, the K-pop culture.
I would say K-pop invokes creativity, like mega creativity. I have friends who are creative and you'll see you've done that and they're like, yeah.
An ex told me that K-pop girls, K-pop stan girls, he was like, the men you stan look like women and you aim to get a man that looks like that. So if you fail to find a man like that, because obviously you're in Kenya, you're not going to find a pretty man.
For me, it's like I have two personalities at this point. I have my normal life and I have my army life. Because when I get into my army life, it's just like a whole new world. A community full of people who don't judge, people who accept you.
Learning Korean from a Kenyan can sometimes mess you up because they pronounce words differently, and when you speak to a native, it's like, hold up, what did you say?
I've never met like a K-pop fan. I don't know why.
What am I?
No, it's like, not when people want to like express themselves like, I'm a K-pop fan. Unless you see them like wearing like a branded t-shirt or a branded hoodie, you realize that they're K-pop fans.
The main campaign of BTS is loving yourself, right? And K-pop has a lot of drawbacks. Just like anything else, too much of something is poisonous, yeah? And one of the drawbacks is it comes with beauty because they have these absurd beauty standards. Well, BTS passed this message that you're supposed to love yourself, embrace yourself. You're just perfect the way you are. You know, you don't have to eat less to be beautiful. You're beautiful from the inside, right? Get into BTS, it's hard to come out.
Okay.
About being a miss or being a pageant queen, it is not just about wearing a crown or looking pretty on social media.
Yeah.
It is about how much you can impact the community. What can you do with the title you hold? Actually, a young model in the industry. I started modeling this year in school. Actually, I used to go to International Youth Fellowship where we had a modeling class. I used to study fashion and design, and we had a modeling class. So I am high fashion trained. On Instagram, kelly.omuhaya. On TikTok, Miss Omuhaya.
Now tell us about that moment when you had your name that you won Miss Kasarani 2025-2026.
What I would like to advise you is keep going. Keep going. Put God first. Be resilient. Be a go-getter. Find joy within yourself. Walk with pride. Chin up. Smile. You are a queen. He who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. That makes me always rise, knowing that I have something that is greater than what people can see.
Everywhere, GBS.
Well, welcome. You are watching the news at 9 right here on GBS TV Africa. It's time for your most favorite segment of the bulletin, the sports news. Let's get sporty. And now, African football has a new king, and for the first time in 26 years, he comes from Morocco. Achraf Hakimi, the electrifying right back from Paris Saint-Germain, has been crowned the African Ballon d'Or winner, marking a historic moment for both his country and the continent. Hakimi's season was nothing short of extraordinary. He captured every major trophy on offer: the Champions League, Ligue 1, the French Cup, and the Trophy Days champions, all while putting up numbers rarely seen from a defender: 11 goals, 17 assists, and decisive performances in the quarterfinals, semi-finals, and even the Champions League final.
All glory to God. It's really an honor for me to be here today. It's a real pride for me to win this prestigious trophy in the football world, in the African football world, precisely. This trophy is not just for me, it's for all the Africans, the strong men and women that have dreams in Africa, and those that dream of becoming footballers. And, you know, for those that always believed in me from when I was a kid, even up until now that I've become this player that I am today, I would like to thank all of these people. I would like to thank His Majesty King Mohammed VI for providing us with all the different sporting infrastructure and facilities in Morocco, and also we are really proud of him. I would like to thank my President Nasser Khalafi for his trust from the first time he signed me. It's been 5 years now that we've been together. I know my teammates in Paris Saint-Germain, you know, all those that have helped me to be the kind of player I am today, and up to even becoming the best African player, I can say thank you all. I'd like to thank our President, Fuzi Lekja, for providing the best of conditions for us to be able to actually practice football in Morocco. And I know that we are all proud of you. Like my teammate Yasin Bono said, we will try to do our best to actually win the AFCON trophy, inshallah, by the grace of God. And I would also like to thank my coach, Walid. He's here. I know it's not easy to be my coach. I know that I'm a difficult player at times. My teammates, there's Munir, my goalkeeper, who is also one of my best friends, Bono. I also congratulate him for winning the best goalkeeper. To all my teammates at the national team, it's an honor to play side by side with you. You've helped me win this trophy. And like I said, that together we shall work towards winning the best trophy, which is the AFCON. I would like to also thank my family, my mother. These are the most important people in my life. And all the people that are close to me, those that prepare me, like my physical trainers, physiotherapists, those that even support me in these difficult periods. It was not easy to actually get here today, but I have my friends, my family. I am still here today, and I am proud of being a Morocco.
Administration is rolling out a new fast-track entry program aimed at easing travel for the millions of international fans expected for the next year's World Cup. The initiative, called FIFA Pass, will give travelers who have purchased official match ticket access to expedited visa interview appointments. A move officials say balances convenience with the administration continued emphasis on security. President Trump praised the effort, saying the State Department and the Department of Homeland Security have worked extensively to shorten global visa wait times. He noted that while processing once took up to a year in many regions, more than 80% of the world now sees wait of 60 days or less. Still, he urged fans to apply early, given the enormous volume of expected travelers.
Department of Homeland Security to ensure that soccer fans from all around the world are properly vetted and able to come to the United States next summer easily. Before I took office, it would often take a year to get a travel visa, but because of the administration's hard work, now in more than 80% of the world, think of that, the wait time for a visa is 60 days or less. For those who intend to join us for the World Cup, I strongly encourage you to apply right away.
We will have between 6 and 7 million tickets sold for the matches. We will have between 5 and 10 million people coming to America from all over the world to enjoy the World Cup. And with this FIFA Pass, we can make sure that those who buy a ticket that are legitimate football fans or soccer fans, they can come and attend the World Cup in the best conditions, starting from getting their visa and then coming, of course, in the country to enjoy.
We have come to the end of the news bulletin. It's always a pleasure having you on board. Let's do this again next time, same channel. Here at GBS TV, we make your news our business. My name is Paul Madenge, and our sign language interpreter tonight has been Samuel Kariuki. It's a good night from me.
Everywhere, GBS.